All right, well, welcome back everyone to Maconi Fast Fridays. You'll have to forgive us. We have had some technical difficulties with the stream key and whatnot, lots of behind the scenes problems, but we should have those addressed and sorted momentarily. You'll be seeing some coverage of some awesome racing. We're just doing the formation laps now. Hopefully, we'll be able to catch the green flag action. As for qualifying, we'll quickly rattle through the top 10. Jared Davis has taken the pole. Michael Curran, Fast Fridays regular, is P2. Clay Bellamy and Colin Loybro 2. Blake Wynn runs up the top 5. Billy Ricketts on his outside. Hewlin Cowser and Nick Hicks row 4. Gabriel Gatti, Jonathan Sellers makes up your top 10 on the racetrack. So if we don't have any visuals, we will certainly have a radio style broadcast. One thing is for sure, we won't miss a moment of it.
Absolutely.
As we are going green, I believe, momentarily, Shane. Jared Davis, Michael Curran on the front row.
Oh, I believe we are back.
Yep.
We got our feed rolling now.
Oh no, pace car's still out. Bradley Binowes and Carlos Enriquez round out the top 15. JC Curran, Ben Riemer, Tyler Redmond, Douglas Henry and Loken. Kevin Campbell sets the slowest lap time of 30.3. 23rd, Jeff Maconi on pit road in 24th. And I believe that runs out now for this race. So yeah.
They've done, whether you've not raced against them or watched them all. As Jared Davis on the pole front. 75 laps here tonight.
Most certainly will be. Just 113 miles around this intermediate cookie cutter racetrack. So have some green flag racing. We could have this over and done with very, very, very quickly. We'll have to wait and see. As Davis and Curran will be leading the field to the green with the 28 and the 94 in close pursuit. You see the safety car pulling off, manned by Fred, the pace car driver. He hands over to Barney, the flag man, ready to wave the field to the first race of this new season of Maconi's Fast Fridays. We are green from Charlotte, the 13 off to a decent start. But I think, just looking at it, Michael Curran.
One sliding through the front stretch grass here already as well.
Caution,
and we got more
already
in turn one. Already a caution. Multiple trucks involved in turn one.
See, they're still wrecking. Going into the corner. 33 of Tyler Redmond's in it. Big damage to the right rear of that truck.
Yeah, and there was, obviously, our viewers at home can't hear, but there was definitely some reactions on the all teams channels, so I can only imagine what happened here. Oh, a stack up. 81, not sure if he couldn't get into gear. The 41 punted the 37 of Reamer. And then someone else got hooked into our opening turn, I believe.
3 abreast going. Oh, the 38.
Two trucks getting hooked there. 38 and the 81. The 81 being the truck that originally had trouble getting going.
Wow.
That's Carlos Enriquez up in the outside wall. Got a few more guys, and I mean it is just a melee after that. And maybe looked like that truck, that HendrickCars.com truck, might have also had some connection issues, unless he just bowed out as soon as he got involved in that.
Certainly a messy affair to start proceedings here at Charlotte, with about half a dozen cars there involved in a opening melee. Started, I would imagine, by a starting stack up guys hitting the loud pedal too soon, and it caused a accordion effect.
I would have to assume that the that 81 truck just, it looked like maybe he got up on the chip, maybe couldn't get it into the next gear, just wasn't ready for the start when it happened, and they stacked up behind him, and then he must have not still been rolling by the time they got to turn one, because he just got ran over.
Very, very unfortunate. That's taken a lot of very, very good cars out early on. Obviously, we saw the 81, 33, those guys obviously get hooked, and 38 as well, Kevin Kemble. But also the guys got collected in that. I saw the 18, I believe that was Logan Blau as well, was in there. Thankfully, he's still running, which is catching up to the pack now. But we will be coming to the green again this time by it. It's been a fairly quick caution procession. Michael Curran, we did briefly see just before the melee started that he did get the better launch as the green lights came on, which means that he took the lead just as the caution came out. As such, he is scored as the race leader, meaning he will have control of the restart. Obviously this time by he'll be able to go whenever he wants as soon as he hits that restart zone. That's a big advantage for the driver of the 30.
Can definitely be a disadvantage to restart on that outside lane, the front row. The leader just always has such a big advantage, and we're going to wave off our start here.
Yeah.
But I wanted to point, works good. I wanted to point out our third place runner, the 94 of Colin Lloyd. He got a great restart on our initial start. All that wreck had happened before I could say anything. But he started fourth originally, and now he's in position, thanks to the early caution, to restart on the inside behind the 30. So if he gets another good launch, we'll see how aggressive or even conservative Colin Lloyd is ready to play it in that forward.
Definitely seems like, well, I mean, this is essentially going to become a 70-71 lap race now, as no one really got going after that that start crash. So it's essentially going to be a full start for these guys. The 30 of Michael Curran, the 13 Jared Davis swap positions. We saw the 28 and the 94 swap position, which is, as you mentioned, Colin Lloyd there with a very, very good launch off the starting line. So we'll have to see if these guys, especially the 94, obviously won't have control of the restart. He'll be essentially reacting to Michael Curran right in front of him. We'll see if those two can again get the starts that they need to try and make up an extra couple of positions. Davis, of course, at a bit of a disadvantage as he has to react to the 30 rather than being able to react to the starting lights, while also being conscious of not inadvertently overtaking him and getting himself black flag, which is a lot easier said than done when you have to push to be as far alongside them as you can, else you just go backwards. So it's a tough line to walk.
Carlos Henriquez and Kevin Kemble, two of the trucks that we mainly highlighted as being involved in that opening accident, they are both out of our race early. So we're coming to the green here now, and it's Michael Curran leading them to it.
And there you see the advantage immediately playing into the hands of the 30 of Michael Curran, immediately clear of 13, and the 94 Colin Lloyd is absolutely right with him. He's side by side with Jared Davis into turn 1, and he takes second place there. That is the 94 Colin Lloyd up into P2. He's going to try and chase down the 30 of Michael Curran out of turn 2. See them make their way onto the back straight. Michael Curran, though, still protecting that inside. The 94 is going to take a little look, but no dice for the time being for the driver in the 94. And it seems like these two are two of the quickest trucks on the racetrack. Jared Davis, pole sitter, already down to third. There's a battle behind them there. We have the 43 of Billy Rickett there on the outside. The 26 of Blake Wynn there. Obviously an eNASCAR Road to Pro qualifying series driver. He's in round 2, I believe. He has done very well to make it this far. We know how quick he is. And he's going to block Billy Rickett hard there going down the back straight away. He wants to keep P5 as track position. Very important in a short race like this.
And here comes Clay Bellamy in that 28 truck off turn 4. He's going to have a run on Colin Lloyd for second. This Miller Light Ford has just come out of nowhere. He is definitely one of the quicker guys out here, running just about a similar lap time that lap to our race leader, Michael Curran, in the 30 truck. So now Colin Lloyd might have to go on the defensive as we go into turn 3. Here comes Clay, looking low. Now he'll look to the high side.
Clay Bellamy just looking for an opening. It seems like the high side, you mentioned, a bit of a multi-groove action. Later on at the top of the show, we're seeing it. He definitely looks like the high side work.
Just couldn't get that crossover done off turn 4. He'll fall back in line while Michael Curran is pulling away. He's got about 0.4 of a second on Colin Lloyd in the second position. Clay Bellamy in third still, trying to find a way around that 94 F-150 as we'll be coming back to 8 laps complete this time by here at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Yes, again, Clay Bellamy using that middle groove there, going above the 94. And I don't know if he gave him a tap to the bottom.
Maybe just a little touch.
He's to the inside now of the 94 Colin Lloyd. Clay Bellamy looking very, very quick at this point in the run, but the 94 does very well to hang on. They almost all bang loose for the 28. Whoa!
Very good save by Bellamy, and the unfortunate part for him, fortunate for Lloyd, is he is now back ahead of Bellamy. Bellamy's going to have to wind her up and try again. Can't help but wonder if maybe that slight touch, that slight slide, could have really affected those tires, and there is a little bit of discourse on the radio between those two right now.
Definitely seems like 10% is heating up just a little smidge. We'll have to see how that develops over the next 66 laps, coming to 65 to go this time. Race leader still Michael Cronin, the 30, having led every single lap since the drop of a green. Jared Davis, pole sitter, has the pace, but not at this current moment. Still holding P4 just ahead of Billy Rickett and Blake Wynn there. But eyes still firmly fixated on this fight between Clay Bellamy and Colin Lloyd in the 94s. Again, the 28 takes a little peek to the inside of Colin Lloyd. But as you briefly mentioned there, Shane, we've got tyres to worry about. As much as this is definitely a very short race, they cannot lose sight of the fact that that Goodyear rubber under them will punish if it's pushed too hard.
Absolutely, and at the moment, someone whose Goodyear rubber is just fine is that 43 DuPont Chevrolet of Billy Rickett, that Jeff Gordon-esque paint scheme, riding around the high side like Kyle Larson, Tyler Reddick. We see those guys in real life know how to do it. He is making it look really easy, and he's also, the last couple of laps, been the fastest truck inside the top 10, and Clay Bellamy is clear into our second spot now.
Yeah, Clay Bellamy has done really well there to get ahead of Colin Lloyd before Billy Rickett really arrived on the scene, who himself is looking mighty quick, as I think a three-way fight for second place is not what Clay Bellamy needs in terms of trying to save his tyres. But immediately also arriving on the scene, Blake Wynn obviously got overtaken by Billy Rickett just a few laps ago, but already looking for some retribution there. Scored us the 26 with a custom 99 on the side of that F-150. Is he going to look to high side, going to look low? Going to back off just for the time being. Billy Rickett with a send into turn 3. To the inside. Oh, he's going to shift up.
Boy.
Oh, that
and
almost
Blake
ended
Wynn
badly.
Was right on the tailgate of Billy Rickett. He's going to be to his outside for the 4th spot. Definitely got him a little free, but they're going to be just about neck and neck as we get through the middle of 1 and 2. Michael Curran's pulling away, though. He's got 5/10, half a second on Bellamy in the 2nd spot. Now 6 as they head to turn 3.
Blake Wynn there as well, just scooting around the outside of Billy Rickett. Billy definitely looked to have been fighting a little bit of oversteer. As you see now, again, sends it way too deep there into turn number 3, and he's again susceptible to an attack from pole sitter Jared Davis, who will now find himself slotting into position number 5. Billy Rickett falling back just a little bit. But keep your eyes on this fight. Keep your eyes on this man. Blake Wynn in the 99 scored as the number 26. Waltzes past the 94 Colin Lloyd and up into the podium positions for the first time tonight. Here comes the 94, looking for a crossover move, trying to take that position back. But it's Blake Wynn holding on the high side, looking stout. They're almost going to make contact.
Into turn 3, catches a break. Another great save there. And through the grass goes Jared Davis for the 4th position. The 94 is going to lose all kinds of ground here. Not what Colin Lloyd wanted to see, but anyone that was running behind that mint and black number 94 Ford, they're loving it.
Absolutely. Colin Lloyd just trying to keep his position. They obviously sent it deep into turn 3, but because didn't want to turn, and that had him lose spot 2. Colin Lloyd is again, Billy Rickett!
Might not be as lucky. He'll save it as well. My goodness, 2 laps in a row, 2 great saves. Both were, in my opinion, a result of people diving a little too hard into that 3rd corner, maybe thinking their tires were going to stick a little better than they ended up doing.
And that's going to spell a bit of disaster for Billy Rickett, as he's been overtaken by a handful of drivers, Hewlin Cowser being one of them, who ended up tagging the outside wall there in reaction to that, but looks fairly unscathed on that 04 Chevrolet Silverado. He'll live to fight another day. JT Curran as well on the HendrickCars.com, as there's the spinner out in the back. Not quite catching who that is. It's Wyatt Blair in the 34 with the number 3 on it. Spins to the inside grass there.
We'll stay green here.
Yeah.
And how about our own Jeff Maconi? He is currently on outside looking in to the top 10 right now. P11 for the 03 truck, hunting down Billy Rickett, who just had that great save moments ago.
I'll tell you what, apart from mentioning the starting grid, we have not mentioned Jeff Maconi really once this entire broadcast, and I think through sheer survival and attrition and just being very, very smooth in that 0-3 truck, he has managed to claw his way up 13, potentially 14 positions as you see him closing in here on the 43 of Billy Rickett. To the outside of Rickett goes Maconi, potentially looking for a berth into the top 10. To the high side goes to 0-3, and he's going to take it with ease, making that high side work. Billy Rickett struggling on those tyres. Up to P10 for Jeff Maconi, potentially with a big run off turn 2. P9 might be in his future. To the inside of JT Curran, we'll see what Curran can do on the high side. Definitely looks to be able to fight it just a little bit, but this might be a storm that rages on for a couple more corners. JT Curran, though, just clears, lives to fight another day.
As Michael Curran still up front in the 30 iRacing stamped Chevrolet in the Dallas Stars colors. He has currently got a 1-second lead comfortably over the 13 of Jared Davis, who is currently in a side-by-side battle with Blake Wynn.
Blake Wynn there just on the outside. Scored P3 last time, but will again be scored P3 as Jared Davis just has a nose on him. Going down the quad oval, coming on to lap 21, but you see now Jared Davis going into turn 3 will again take that position away into P2 for our pole sitter. We mentioned, of course, he has the pace. He wouldn't be on pole if he didn't. We saw him fall back in the early stages. I think he's got the long run pace now to potentially start making it, eating into that gap of Michael Curran. As last time around, I don't know if we saw a mistake from the 30, but Jared Davis, 4/10 quicker than Michael Curran. That gap's been slashed nearly in half.
Yeah, he is closing that gap and fast. Like you said, not sure if there was maybe a slip up from the 30 Silverado, but the 13 is in hot pursuit. Got it down to just about 0.2 of a second as we are 22 laps in here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, and we're going to have a battle for the lead here in just a moment.
We most certainly are, as Michael Curran there last time 31.4. Jared Davis last time a 30.9. That number 13 truck is flying. Blake Wynn behind him can't match that 31.2. Jared Davis has just attached rockets to the back of that Chevrolet, and here he goes for the lead. We are officially fighting for #1 spot here at Charlotte, a further way into the race. Lap 23 of 75, and it's Jared Davis on the inside, Michael Curran on the outside. We officially have our first lead change of the evening, and it's Jared Davis back to the point after having it taken from him at the start by the 30 of Michael Curran, who is not giving this up one bit. He fights back on the outside. Definitely a bit more grip up there at this particular moment for the number 30, which is why he's able to fight back a significantly faster Jared Davis.
Side door to door into turn 3. More grip up top maybe for Michael Curran, but maybe a little harsher on those Goodyear tires underneath that truck. Davis will clear him now. The 30 probably for the best that the 13 gets by. Won't hurt his tires as much fighting. Live to fight another day. Just wind it up and try again. He is sideways on that painted line down at the bottom of the racetrack, that blue painted line. That is kind of that is much slicker than you would imagine it being. That paint, it's kind of like ice. And we I'm seeing in the drivers chat that we have a few guys talking about hitting pit road here.
Yeah, first of which Wyatt Blair in position number 24. We noticed some significant damage to the left rear of that truck there. Significantly off the pace is the number 34, but nevertheless, it is something for drivers to consider. There's also a car on the apron there to turn 3. That is Tyler Redman. I think he is going to be taken to pit road this time. I don't know if you've seen, Shane, whether anyone else is taking to pit road this time. I don't believe they are. That certainly could be a warning sign to us.
And Jeff Maconi has continued to climb up through our field, sitting in the 8th spot right now. He's cleared JT Curran for that spot. Jared Davis is comfortably pulling away from Michael Curran. So 30 team, the question in my opinion would be, how far do we play it? How soon would we pit to maybe attempt to leapfrog the 13? Because we're clearly seeing tires are very significant here. As the two best trucks in terms of lap time are Jared Davis and Jeffrey Maconi inside the top 10 right now.
Those guys, Jared and Jeff, as you mentioned, definitely looking to be the easiest on their tyres, as you mentioned, the two fastest trucks on the track at the minute. As for a pit strategy for Michael Curran to potentially leapfrog Jared Davis and get himself back into the lead, I think it's all dependent on fuel. I would have thought that this was a shoe-in, you know, if it went green the whole way, it was a straight up one stop halfway, get a new set of boots on you, fill the tank up with fuel, get back out there, finish the race. But with Wyatt Blair announcing his pit, and of course Tyler Redmond going into pit road as well, I do wonder if maybe they don't have enough fuel to make it to the halfway point, at which point I would say, with it obviously being made a two-stopper, I would say for Michael Curran, get in as soon as you can, try and undercut Jared Davis potentially, as I mean lap times are nearly 2 seconds off their peaks on new tyres.
Absolutely. And
tyre deck are big.
You mentioned at the start of the show the new truck physics that tends to sit on the right rear a little more. We got some contact back there for the 8th spot. The 12 truck is going through the infield grass. He'll keep it straight. That's Gabriel Gotti. When he comes up into traffic and he's going around in turn 1, collecting Douglas Henry. And more are going to pile in. My goodness.
Andy Brinksman as well.
That's
a huge accident.
Ugly rejoin by Gabriel Gotti. Oh, boy. He was rubbing fenders with the 71 Raja Caruth paint and went through the infield grass, and instead of keeping it low, he just tried to rejoin his normal racing line, but the problem, there were about 3 trucks right on his tail. He's still spinning out here.
You have to wait until the replays to see him come flying back up the track. Henry there, seeing the 41, Andy Brinksman as well, and the 70 gets collected completely innocently, as that is definitely an ugly, ugly sight. Not an ideal rejoin for the 12. There's Arca brakes. I hate to use that term, but that's Arca brakes from those guys. The caution already out, and another couple of trucks just piling into the mess and compounding that incident there. That is not what you want to be seeing, and that's not ideal for Jared Davis as he comes down pit road, followed by, you would imagine, pretty much the entire field, as I'm sure he would have loved to cycle a green flag pit stops to maintain that advantage, but of course the safety car has completely slashed that advantage to 0, so it's now going to be a race off of pit road with Jared Davis, the favourite, obviously, with that number 1 pit stall for the number 13 team. Curran will slot in just behind him. Let's see which virtual pit crews can do it best. Don't shoot your box. Clay Bellamy overshoots his box. As I suspected, that's going to lose his 28, a bundle of time. We wait patiently to see who will get their truck off pit road first. And it's going to be Michael Curran by just a hair over Jared Davis. Blake Wynn third off pit road. Maconi off 5th there, with I believe Colin Lloyd there in the 94 off 4th. So that is going to be a big shake-up at the halfway point, Shane. Michael Curran jumps Jared Davis in the pits, and is he seeing that as a lifeline of sorts to help him get back out in front and potentially take better care of his tyres this time round? Tyler Redmond obviously leading the field behind the safety car, but he is not yet taken to pit road. He will either be waved around or dropped to the end of the line. Obviously, the race will not proceed with a lapped car at the front of the pack. So the 30 of Michael Curran will have, again, control of this restart, presumably around lap 34, 35 to restart this race at Charlotte. See how we're going to want their tyres. We are doubling up, I believe. Jared Davis, not quite doubling up, as this could well be the 2 to green for these drivers, an opportunity to get their tyres up to an optimal operating temperature. And I think Jared Davis and Jeffrey Maconi are definitely the teachers of that particular stint there in terms of tyre conservation and long run pace, Shane. So I think the likes of Michael Curran, Blake Wynn, Colin Lloyd definitely have an opportunity to potentially make some noise in the second stint, having learnt from the likes of Maconi and Davis in that first preliminary stint. I think we've lost Shane, unfortunately. He's back. He's back in the Discord call. Shane, do we have a copy, my friend?
Let's see. We good?
We can hear you.
Okay.
We can hear you.
I'm not sure what happened. I think my mic disconnected and I didn't know it. But I'll tell you what, Michael Curran there in the lead. This is a gift from the heavens for that 30 team. Coming out in the lead. Jared Davis, when they dropped the jack on that 13 Silverado and he came off pit road, he spun the rear tires a lot. That's what lost him the lead. So for Michael Curran to get the lead back, we'll see if maybe that last run was a bit of a teaching moment. Okay, maybe I need to be a little more careful on my tires. It's okay to maybe lose a spot or two as long as I don't tear up my tires. There's plenty of time for him to get back in this. As the 33 truck gets waved around the pace car, we've got the 1 to go signal. And we're about to go back to racing, and I think it's about to heat up even more than we've already seen so far tonight.
I definitely think this caution has come out just at the right time for us to see some proper action here tonight at Charlotte. Obviously, it's at the halfway point, which is when we imagined most guys were going to be pitting under green flag conditions. The benefit of this being, these guys hopefully, fingers crossed, going to be able to make it to the end. This will be their last pit stops, although green flag pit stops. The potential to shake up the grid even more, but I think if this is their last pit stop, we will see these guys really start to push hard. And for all the marbles,
time's running out.
Time is running out.
And I tell you what, Jeff Maconi restarting in 5th. We talked about in that last run. I'm not sure if he just had a phenomenal pit stop there. Maybe got down pit road perfectly without speeding. But, it's like you said, that last run, him and Davis, Jared Davis, our second place restart car here, they were the 2 best at tire management that last run. So we'll see if that comes into factor here. Coming to the green on lap, it'll be 35 when we get the green.
There'll be 41 laps to go when Fred, the pace car driver, pulls off and Barney, the flag man, waves the green flag. Michael Curran will have control of the restarts then to the Geico restart zone momentarily. Jared Davis on the outside. There goes the 30. Step in on the out pedal, and we are green again at Charlotte. And it's the 94 Colin Lloyd again with an amazing restart. He's going to blow by Blake Wynn and up into P3. Michael Curran retains the lead. Jared Davis, though, in hot pursuit behind him. In second place, Colin Lloyd slots into P3 with single file up the first and top
near contact
5
there.
Positions.
He's going to turn
There goes the contact, and Curran's hooked.
Into the wall.
Blow over. Almost upside down, but the mighty Michael Curran.
Oh my goodness. That could not have gone worse for Michael Curran. Oh my goodness.
Wow. We saw some blocks, we saw some bumpers, we saw a blowover at Charlotte. We're going to see a replay of that as they came off turn 2. Jared Davis looking for a move and just slight contact, and again hooks the 30. And that is a major hit to the underside of that truck.
I mean, that is just unbelievable.
Wild.
I can't say I've seen him flip over like that much.
That was a new thing with the trucks. The update, one of the other things that got added was blowover physics. I would expect it at Super Speedways. I wouldn't expect it at a cookie cutter.
Yeah, not quite Charlotte.
That's insane. He took off like an aeroplane. Michael Curran is gonna... Well, saying that, the truck itself didn't look that badly beat up. Of course, he hit it completely with the underside, so depending on how iRacing has simulated underside damage, he might have gotten away with murder there. I know for sure that in a real-life race, that is done for the day and probably a trip to the chiropractor, fix your back.
No doubt. Oh my goodness. Now, I did go back and listen to the team chatter there when that truck went around, and as expected, Michael Curran asked what was he doing. No reply from Colin Lloyd.
Yeah, that's unfortunate there, but big accident. That's going to give us a brand new front row for this restart as Michael Curran and Jared Davis, 2 of the fastest trucks out of the
Jared Davis, but he's also on.
Yeah, he is. I imagine probably a little bit damaged from that accident, but yeah, brand new front row. 2 of the fastest trucks taken out in rather dramatic fashion.
Yeah, not know if it'll be something to watch or not, but Curran and Davis are coming off pit road together, kind of insinuating they're about to restart right near each other.
Ooh, that's going to be fun.
Might be
watch
something
as
to
they
watch.
Most certainly might be, but we're going to come back to the green flag now, and Colin Lloyd will have control of the restart. We've seen how good he's been on the launches. We saw last time he immediately took
And now he
third
gets
place
to do
there
it
off
from
the
the lead,
line.
so he'll
He
have a
gets to do it
chance at
from
an
the
even
lead.
better launch.
Let's see exactly how Blake Wynn and company behind him can react. Maconi up to third. Keep eyes on that man, as we know how good he is on the long run. And Colin Lloyd, see you later. He's taken off like a scolding cat. Already about half a second into lead. Here comes Maconi.
Might not have gotten a great start as he chops down back to the bottom. This will put Jeff Maconi into the runner-up position. My goodness, what a start by Colin Lloyd.
Immediately about half a second, maybe close to a second in front of the field before they even got to turn one. Jeff Maconi and Blake Wynn will occupy positions 2 and 3. Nick Hicks up to a race high P4. Good on that man as he now faces pressure from Clay Bellamy. His contact further behind them. They all disperse as Blinksman into the wall. And more carnage, more one up and over through the infield grass. A massive accident on the front straight. Another blowover. So the second truck upside down. That's Henry, I believe, there in the number 41. And another massive accident. That is not what we need to be seeing. It's descending into chaos here at America's Home for Racing.
The later we get, you know, into this race, gets more aggressive. Take a look at what happened here. So that's Andy Brinksman in the 70 truck. He was involved in a earlier accident. He was actually the victim of those ARCA brakes that you mentioned. And the Buc-ee's truck going for quite the ride on top of 2 other trucks. That's Darren Thrasher. The 41 is the other truck that ends up upside down here.
Yeah, Bucky's number 16, Darren Thrasher, we're on board with. I mean, dizziness.
Oh my goodness.
Dizziness warning here as he gets essentially carried onto his side. That's scary.
There's a look inside the truck.
Catches the grass.
My goodness.
A Chris Bush.
And there's the 41.
Oh my goodness. Spins like a top on his lid.
That's the Dr. Squatch 41 back there. My goodness.
The 99 of, not Peyton Lindsay, he's running a stamped 99. Someone else running a custom 99. I think was the one that plowed into him. Don't quote me on that. We just saw the aftermath of Douglas Henry getting sent flying. But
either way, I mean, we were talking about how we didn't think we'd even be able to see one truck get half over, and then we had 2 end up completely over in the same exact accident. And we do already have the one to go signal out, so a quick little caution here. So it'll be Colin Lloyd now. It's going to be a little challenging for Jeffrey Maconi. He has a second place truck here. And we saw what a great launch Lloyd got that last restart. So we'll see maybe if the 03 can time it a little bit better this time than our previous start with that outside lane.
Have to wait and see. Hopefully we don't have any more ferocious accidents like that. We don't want to see any trucks upside down, let alone 3 of them in one race.
Absolutely not.
So hopefully we can start to clean up our act together and get to the checker flag with an awesome finish that I know these guys are capable of. We had enough blockbusters last season in Fast Fridays. I'm sure we're capable of a few more. The 94 of Colin Lloyd, the 03 of Jeff Maconi will start at the front of the pack for this restart. The safety car will be pulling in momentarily to give these drivers 34 laps to go at Charlotte, Blake Wynn and Clay Bellamy, P3 and P4. The safety car will be pulling in just about now. Let's see if he's got one more awesome Alonso start in his back pocket. The 94 steps on it, a bit of wheel spin, but it's still a very, very good launch for Colin Lloyd. Maconi there as they stack up towards the back. I think they're going to just about stay green. Maconi with a good jump is going to just about stay in P2. Tops the nose a little bit of Blake Wynn. All is fair in love and war, and the top 2 remain the top 2 as Maconi leads Wynn, leads Bellamy, leads Hicks and Curran behind them. The 83 there in 7th place. That's Stephen McGow, someone we haven't mentioned all too much. Colin Lloyd still out in front by a few tenths, but Maconi in hot pursuit. The pace of the pack behind evident in spades here as Maconi starting to pressure the 94 for the lead. To the high side goes Maconi.
See how good of a run maybe that 03 Silverado can have off the top. How aggressive will the 94 be? How aggressive will the 03 be? And all these guys watching behind, just waiting for maybe an opportunity, but Maconi's going for the top spot in 3 and 4.
Maconi uses the run on the high side and 1 and 2, get the run onto the back straight to the inside in turns 3 and 4. We'll see how effective that is. The 94 just staying ahead and does clear the 03 for the time being, but Jeff Maconi showing his hand early, and with just 32 laps to go, he has not got much time to make that decisive move. Blake Wynn waiting in the wings like we know he can, pressuring Maconi there for P2, who hang back in the number 26 just for the time being. There in 3rd place, Clay Bellamy keeping a close eye on how this battle unfolds. But you've seen already, Shane, the 94 takes to the middle groove there in turns 3 and 4. These drivers finding more and more about how this track is driving lap by lap. It's a big learning experience for them, of course.
Colin Lloyd has not been afraid all night here to try every lane humanly possible. He'll go up to the top, he'll go run the bottom against that blue line near the apron, he'll run the middle. And as we get to 3 and 4, there he goes, kind of a little closer to the wall this time. And he's definitely picked up the pace. His last lap, Maconi, prior, was faster. Now the 94 definitely finding some strength. Maybe just needed to get some heat in his rubber underneath that truck. And Blake Wynn currently trying to find a way to second. And Bellamy, like you said, just watching and waiting.
Seems like everyone is single filed out for the time being, with 30 coming to 29 laps to go at Charlotte. So our time is of the essence. I think these guys understand now the value of looking after your tyres, of course.
And we're definitely not promised any more cautions. Not saying it won't happen. It's definitely possible. But anything can and will happen. And the 94 here, he's taking the bottom. So what he might be doing is looking in his mirror, watching what that 03 is doing, and trying to take his line away, keep him in that dirty air. So Jeff is kind of trying to predict what lane the 94 will take into the turn, so he can maybe take the opposite, get some clean air on the nose of his Silverado. But Colin Lloyd's doing a great job of managing every lane through these corners. So he's going to go bottom, sort of closer middle now here in 1 and 2.
Not quite as stuck to the paint as we might have seen him earlier on in the running, of course. Tyre saving a lot easier when you're in clean air, and I think Colin is just trying to make life as difficult for Maconi, Wynn and Bellamy behind them as, of course, when you're in the wake of the truck in front of you. Naturally, with reduced front downforce, it's going to cause your front tyres to skate just that little bit more, and you have to acclimate to that, take a different lane and lift off just a little bit earlier to counteract that. So it makes really difficult to pass. Maconi a little bit loose there. Off the turn 2, does Blake Wynn now pounce on that error from the 0-3? He's pushing him. He's not going to go for a move, he's going to stick behind the 0-3 for the time being. I do wonder if these three, or at least Wynn and Maconi, is Bellamy to the high side. Here comes Wynn to the inside. I was just speculating that these guys trying to work together to get to the 94 Colin Lloyd, but it seems like that theory is absolutely out the window. Here comes Blake Wynn into P2. Maconi going to stick out on the high side. Almost contact there. Maconi gets the outside wall there. Bellamy on the bottom, but Wynn does take that position there into P2 for the 26. Maconi way upstairs. Bellamy way downstairs. Everyone trying to find their space as Bellamy again super close to the wall. No contact yet for either of these trucks, but Maconi again taken to the outside, does get cut off, but he's still going to go for it through turns 1 and 2. He's got the grip. We're going to be side by side off the 2 here.
Side by side, not ready to give up that second spot is Jeff Maconi. Down at turn 3, he's going to take it back. Can't help but wonder, maybe Blake Wynn showing a little bit of leniency, like, okay, well, we still got some time to go. I still need some tires for the checkered flag here, as Bellamy maybe starting to fade just a little, kind of struggling these last couple laps, has broke free a couple times, had to get out of the gas to not run his Ford F-150 into the outside wall.
Definitely grip at a premium for these drivers. It doesn't come easy to keep these trucks on new in these sorts of conditions, as Colin Lloyd, as much as Maconi and Wynn and the like are fighting behind him, Colin Lloyd is certainly falling back into the clutches of Maconi and Wynn just a little bit, as the gap at the line as it ticks over is officially 3.6 tenths of a second. So the gap certainly closing. Maconi potentially with another Fast Fridays victory in his future. Let's not cast a curse in, but he definitely has the pace to potentially take P1 with
Definitely.
22 laps to go. Blake win though as
touch
well.
quicker that last lap around. He ran a 30.54 to Colin Lloyd's 30.64, just about rounding up there from that last digit of their lap time. This time around, little bit different. A 30.72 for Lloyd, 30.74 for Jeffrey Maconi. So about even that time. And actually, Clay Bellamy and Stephen McGow, our 4th and 5th place trucks, were faster than our entire top 3 that lap.
What's the ebbs and flows of who is fastest at any given time? You know, usually
the 94 is going to get the wall a little bit off forward.
Ooh.
Just brushed it. Now, any kind of contact is not good, but especially not if the tires got the fence, because here's Maconi and everybody else is with him.
That is close to gap monumentally as Maconi using the high side. Here comes Jeff Maconi to the inside of the 94 of Colin Lloyd. We are officially racing for the lead at Charlotte here in Fast Fridays. Maconi in the middle as Lloyd way upstairs in the 94. Maconi trying to force him out wide. He's going to get the clear. Maconi leads at Charlotte with just 20 laps to go. Blake Wynn looking to get past the 94 as well.
And I can't help but wonder if when Maconi went down to turn 3, you know, he kind of ran up the track a little bit, obviously sent it in trying to get the weak handle, but wonder if maybe Colin Lloyd had to jump out of the gas to not absolutely mow down the wall off turn 4. We do have a couple trucks in the grass crashed here on the front stretch. Wyatt Blair and Logan Blow, I believe, are around. I believe they'll be off the track, so we should be able to keep it green. But an interesting incident there.
No caution for them. Definitely an interesting incident between Blair and Blouse. That is Blair at the bottom there on the apron. Definitely something we haven't caught, but it's something we're going to keep an eye on potentially for any race control decisions. But Jeff Maconi, who is race control, probably isn't too bothered as he's leading at Charlotte. Colin Lloyd and Blake Wynn. He's got a Road to Pro driver.
He'd do anything to
rear view
throw
mirror.
That keyboard with those race controls outside the window. No need for him. As Clay Bellamy currently working on Blake Wynn for 3rd, but he's working on Colin Lloyd for 2nd. Those 2 trucks, the 99 stamped truck and the 28 truck, maybe get by Lloyd and give Maconi a shot at it.
Well, it's definitely possible, but of course, the longer they hang behind the 94 of Colin Lloyd, the less time they have once they do get past him, if they get past him, to actually catch and try to pass Maconi himself, by which point Wynn and Bellamy could have easily worn out their tyres. So I think what Maconi needs to do now is take this opportunity as the 94 definitely struggling to hang on to the 0-3. I think Maconi now needs to try and capitalise on this opportunity to really save his tyres and make sure that if and when the 26 and the 28 work their way past the 94 of Colin Lloyd, that he is absolutely ready to do battle with some of the best in the business. As again the 94 in the wall, and that's going to open the floodgates for Blake Wynn to the inside of the 94 and clear with just 16 laps to go. Blake Wynn is in P2, and that's going to give Maconi just a little bit of a scare as Blake Wynn. We know how quick he is, we know how capable he is, and with 16 laps to go, that is not a big gap to claw back. Clay Bellamy waiting in the wings here. If he can capitalise on potentially a similar mistake from the 94.
Yeah, and what Maconi would love to see in this situation is those 2 trucks, the 94 still in the fence here. The tires just gone on that Ford F-150. The 99 is running down Maconi, and I was going to say what he would love to see is Clay Bellamy now 3rd, maybe him and the 99 getting side by side, duking it out a bit, giving him a chance to pull away. It's about a 4/10 of a second gap. Oh, we got a spinner down the back straightaway, and we have a caution. It's the 30 truck. Michael Curran has gone up into the outside wall, and he has heavy wheel damage on that truck. From bad to worse for Michael Curran.
What looked to be a very, very strong night for Michael Curran. We saw him below over around the halfway mark, and now JT Curran off the wall, and again off the air with a couple of wheels for Michael Curran. Flashbacks for the 30, and he's going to end up in the outside fence, and that changes absolutely everything.
And he has already taken that 30 truck to the virtual garage here at Charlotte. He is done for the night. And like you said, Curran getting into him there on the back straightaway. Just very disappointing for Michael Curran, who was so strong early, dominated some of the early portions of this race until eventually slipping back due to tire wear. But definitely, if not for a couple incidents, could have probably stayed in contention for this win, given all the cautions that we have had. Pit road is open, and it looks like everybody's coming.
Yeah, this is where, of course, everyone needs to take tires, or everyone's tires,
Absolutely.
relatively speaking, a shot. But the question remains: do you take 4, or do you gamble and take 2? With how loose these conditions have been.
Well, we've seen oftentimes the gambles pay off, and of course this is the real world, not the sim world. But Jeff Gordon picked up his first win at Charlotte in the Cup Series because crew chief Ray Evernham decided to put 2 tires on that 24 instead of 4. Jeff Maconi is headed towards the pit exit. I believe he will get off first, no problem. And judging off his pit time, I believe he definitely took 4 tires. We do have one truck on the lead lap here that stayed out. It's the 44 Tundra of David Bryan. See him on your screen now. He last pit lap 31, so there are some pretty old tires on that truck. So I'm not sure if he'll pit. I hate to say it, I can respect the attempt, but I can't help but kind of hope that maybe he'll pull off here. I don't really know if that's even going to work for a lap.
Yeah, I don't even know if that's going to work for a few hundred feet because, I mean, of course, Brian will have control of the restart, but those tires are 30-odd laps old. When he steps on the loud pedal, that thing just might not go relative to the likes of Maconi and Win behind him. But he's going to stay out. He's going to give it a go. And I tell you what, you don't try, you don't win. So you know what?
Exactly.
Fair play. He's going to try it. We're going to restart with around 10, 11 to go. And David Bryan throwing the kitchen sink at it. A commendable effort, but I'm skeptical. That is for sure.
I believe we might be getting the 1 to go here. Some talk on the radio. Yep, we are officially in the 1 to go now. Race control just adjusted, so now the lights will go off on our iRacing pace car. Got some guys waving around it, which will move David Bryan and Maconi to the front row. Now, this will only give us 11 laps remaining, but like you said, don't know if even 100 feet is in the cards for that Toyota Tundra of David Bryan. And regardless of if he's in control or not, even if he pulls away by a second, that'll be erased relatively quickly.
Yeah,
and we got Maconi on the radio asking him to be very careful of spinning his tires. Can't blame him.
Yeah, no, it's risky, but I mean, high risk, high reward. It could well pay off for him because of the 44 doing donuts in victory lane.
Absolutely.
In about 11 laps time.
That's the glory of motorsports, right? You never know, and you don't know if you don't try. So we'll see what David Bryan's got in store for the field. Colin Lloyd, who's been so great at restarts all night, he's in the 3rd row in 5th. Fresh tires, fresh opportunity. Here we go.
It's about the lowest Colin Lloyd has been. This is the highest David Bryan has been all race long. The 44 is going to step on the loud pedal. And oh no! Oh, that's a big one. David Bryan stepped on it, and it just didn't go. And that has caused a massive, massive pile-up at the start. Everyone is in it.
Oh,
Set off around the 2nd row is your replay. There was a stack up a little bit behind David Bryan, but you see Blake Wynn goes. Lloyd goes.
I don't know if he ever went through the restart zone. I think he might have been waiting for that. So the way the restart zone works in iRacing, if anyone's unaware, there's 2 lines. You can, once the first line hits, aka the beginning of the restart zone, you can go whenever you'd like as the leader. Or you have the option to wait for the box to end, and the flagger will wave the green flag. There's Barney watching the carnage go by. But he might have just waited for him to go. I mean, this took out everybody.
So I've noticed this. As the crash starts, David Bryan is doing 58 miles an hour. Pace speed is 55. So he did not go.
Definitely
so
not. That is so strange. I mean, I swore with him taking, the lead that he was going to go the second that restart zone started because it would give him an opportunity to maybe pull away by a little bit. But I'll tell you this, regardless of, bold strategy or not, there are going to be a lot of people not so pleased with that 44, and to no help of his own, he's in a bright red truck, so it won't be hard to find him.
Yeah, well, if there is one piece of consolation, is that unless he's getting waved to the back, or is he letting the safety car catch up? Is he? Let's have a look here.
I'm not sure.
Scoring.
I haven't seen any penalties displayed to him, so I'm unsure, but I don't know. Someone on the team channel was asking him to pit for everybody else's benefit. The main confusion I have here is he's still in line, but in fourth.
I do wonder if that's just where scoring had him at the time of caution. But
unsure.
When he started first, 3 cars would not have overtaken him in that time, considering A, you get penalised for passing the leader before the flag, and B, we had barely covered 2 inches before that melee started. He's third now. He passes JT Curran.
Yeah, I just can't imagine how he could possibly have fallen all the way back to where he is. He's climbed up.
I thought he was still leading.
Third in line. I could have swore he was still the leader. But honestly, I mean, obviously, this works out for, Maconi and Wynn. Brian is still staying on the racetrack as we go by. He's going to restart third. I just don't get it. I feel like at this point, you tried the strategy. It's not going to work,
Yeah. Back to the drawing board. I say I have to commend the effort. I've been in that position before. The Road to Pro race at Dover this year, I was like, I'll stick 2 tires on, see what happens. I restart 8th, I finished 23rd at a green light check.
Okay, so David Bryan is still our leader.
There you go.
They were yelling at him to get in line, so I'm not sure what he was doing behind line, but we are on the 1 to go. We're going to get the green with 8 to go. And, well, hopefully it's not same song, second verse, but those old tires.
Maybe it's a master plan by David Bryan. He's been in the lead a lot longer than he would have been under green flag conditions.
I suppose. My goodness.
Yeah, we don't want to be seeing that again. But I fear that even if we get off to a clean start, turn 1 will be a mess as well. So I'm not going to hope for the worst. Never will, but I'm expecting the best.
There have been no words from David. As well, no comments on any of this. Maconi just getting on the radio to tell him to pull up to the pace car. Not really happy with the distance he was keeping. So we'll see how this goes. It's on now. Pace car is off.
A few disgruntled drivers in the paddock area. David Bryan once again has control of the field. They enter the restart zone now. And they still aren't going. They still aren't going. Now they go. Maconi leaves him in the dust. There goes Curran as well. There goes Wynn. There goes everyone. David Bryan in the 44 not going on the restart. Everyone goes behind him and they're going to go again. Gatty's around. Bellamy's in it as well. They're all facing the right direction, but they do end up under caution again. You see the 99 there of Peyton Lindsay as well going around just at the bottom of the racetrack. And again,
this was the 44 at fault against he does not go. I mean, you would think that thing's out of gas the way it's crawling. And he gets on the apron. They're all trying to get out of the way to avoid him. And eventually, he's just still sitting there. Oh, and there are good trucks involved in this Bellamy. The 94 got a piece of it. I just cannot understand it. I mean, like I said, I applaud the effort, but oh my goodness.
Yeah, that is ugly, ugly, ugly. We don't want to be seeing that.
I just cannot believe that he did not hit again. I mean,
try it the first time, fair.
Exactly. I mean, I feel like after you cause one wreck like that, I would have, I know if it was me, I would have tucked my tail between my legs and left. I would have been
Yeah.
so embarrassed. I would not have been able to keep going. And not to put him down. I mean, I'm not trying to slander David. I appreciate, the boldness of the strategy. I just don't think after one attempt that it was the move. And that 44 truck is still on the racetrack.
Yeah, I believe pit road is open. We've done one full circulation around the safety car, which means pit road is open. And yet again, the 44 stays on that rubber. Of course, he is now scored 9th, which will put him row 5 on the inside. For the restart, they double up now. 1-2 green, as that has been adjusted by race control and race leader, Jeff Maconi. No conspiracy. Maconi is just bloody quick as they'll come to 5 to go. This time by Maconi and JT Curran in the 71. Stamped 29 scored. Chevrolet, so Chevrolet row.
And we saw involved in a caution not long ago, so that ought to tell you how big these pileups have been. These guys that were in no man's land at one point are now up here with a just about as equal of a shot to win as anybody. The main two trucks that I recognize for most of the night up front are Maconi and Wynn, the first two cars on the inside rows here, but it's only going to be a 5-lap dash. The 44 truck that did stay out, he is restarting in the 9th position again. Has not pit since lap 31. We're coming to the green on lap 71. So, quite a stretch.
Definitely a yikes moment, as you see again, a gap there between Hewlin-Cowsler and the 04 and the David Bryan. But alas, we look at the front row, Jeff Maconi and JT Curran. Maconi, of course, will have control of the restart. He will enter the Geico restart zone now, and he floors it. Takes off from the rest of the field. It's a good jump. So certainly did.
Midway through the zone, and Curran is going to hold second. So now it's on. So now he's got to set sights to Maconi. Don't bother looking out that mirror. Oh, we have a caution again. I believe we have a wreck off turn 2.
Peyton Lindsay might be involved in this.
Ryan Huntley Jr. is getting his truck righted off turn 2. Let's see. Watch the white and blue truck. Oh,
it's another stack up.
Lloyd.
Yes, Ryan Huntley Jr., Peyton Lindsay. It's caused another accordion effect there as everyone gets stacked up behind the 44 on old tyres.
Yeah, the 44 just did. I don't understand. I feel like at some point they've got to give him a EOL, which is end of line. I just can't understand it at this point. I mean, that is 3 straight wrecks that the 44 truck has caused.
To see if there are any penalties administered to anyone after that caution period. None as of yet from race control. But we are already, unless that's a previous message, are we doubling up again? Looks like we are.
Yeah,
so I think this will be a 1 to green.
Yep.
So it will be a natural green white checkered.
So the 44 truck, for those keeping score, it's about him, 28, the field 0. And he is going to restart in the 11th position, which puts him on the bottom lane again. So there will be some more people restarting behind that truck that are going to have to maybe take some evasive action. It's Maconi and Kerr in the front row. Mago in the 83 truck. He's going to restart 3rd. Blake wins. iRacing number 26. He's the 99 truck on screen. Nick Hicks in 5th. Not to be confused with Chick Hicks. Billy Rickett, Clay Bellamy, Hauser, Redmond. And Jared Davis, who I feel like we haven't talked about in a while. He was tonight's pole sitter. He will restart in the 10th spot.
So a very big shake-up in the field, but of course the old firm tends to have risen to the top. JT Curran and Jeff Maconi have been very quick all night, as mentioned. Of course, Jared Davis, top 10 still. From the pole, Blake Wynn, super quick. Stephen McGough, super quick. Billy Rickett, we saw rocketing towards the front early doors. He's in 6th. Watch for him on the short runs. So we'll see which names can etch their names into the history books of Fast Fridays to take the first win of this brand new season.
It'll be one to never be forgotten. That's for sure.
Definitely won't. This is an instant classic. At Charlotte, Maconi again has control of the field. Just 3 miles to seal the deal for the number 03. Maconi set up shop. Chevrolet steps on it. Brilliant restart there from Jeff Maconi. JT Curran with the decent restart. Stephen McGough there to the inside of the 71 there, trying to get the move done into turn number 1. It's going to be on the inside. That's your fight for P2. McGough versus Curran. Ahead of them though, Jeff Maconi rockets out to a lead. Nick Hicks and Clay Bellamy round up the top 5. That's Blake Wynn, Billy Rickett 6th and 7th as McGough still to the inside. Here comes Clay Bellamy as well. On Nick Hicks, fights up and down the field, and it's Maconi that stays leading. White flags, Nick Hicks. Big save.
Out. We have 3 trucks crashing in turn.
No. Nick
oh my
Hicks
goodness, one of them being Colin Lloyd. I believe Pace and Lindsay might have got a piece. Nick Hicks, I believe, was another one that I saw go around. And there is definitely some frustration. So there goes the 31 on his own. Just loses that white and pink truck and hard overcorrection. And
that is rough.
Further behind, yeah, you'll see at the top of your screen is the 94 truck. I'm not sure if maybe they crashed trying to avoid the incident. That's the only thing I could assume. But I believe this is going to be overtime now. We get 3 attempts at this, it looks like. And Maconi, who was, maybe not even a football field away from that white flag, is going to have to time another restart yet again. And we are getting the 1 to go signal, so we're going to double up. And William, we're going to try this again.
We most certainly are. This will be the first actual green-white checkered attempt, I do believe. Yes, 1 of 3 for our drivers tonight. The last one, obviously, we did have 2 to go, but that was within the scheduled race distance, so it did not count as an overtime attempt. This will be our first crack at a GWC, and it's Maconi again that leads the field, as Shane mentioned, mere meters away from taking that white flag. The Talassi has to do it all over again. Steve McGough on the outside in the 83 for the first time tonight in a race high P2. So big shake-ups all throughout the field as Maconi up 23 spots, McGough up 26, Curran up 13 there. Not one of our podium sitters as of current started within the top 15. So it's definitely been a survivalist race as Maconi and McGough. Not been any incidents. Curran
Billy Rickett just found his way back up here in the 6th spot. Now this last restart, real quick before we go green, Maconi kind of went in about the middle of that Geico restart zone. So we'll see if maybe he decides to go the same place, a little earlier, a little later. See if he can catch him off guard. Pace car is off, William. Here we go. Green-white checker number 1.
See where Maconi goes this time. Again, looks like middle of the box again for Maconi as he rockets off to a good lead. And McGough and Curran. It's a role reversal between the 83 and the 71 as Curran looking to get the move done through turns 1 and 2 on the restart here. McGough, though, will fight back. Blake Wynn does squeak past Clay Bellamy up into P4. For the driver in the 99 there, you see Billy Rickett there on the inside of Clay Bellamy. They get into turn 3 for the penultimate time tonight. We'll see if there are any more implosions towards the back
riding around the top.
Curran right, see Billy Rickett there getting all types of loose, does save it. Maconi will reach the right flag, which means that this race will end under green flag conditions no matter what happens. And McGough might be looking for the lead here. For the final time, Maconi will have Curran and McGough for company. Gets a little bit loose
behind him.
Through the corner. Big crash. Maconi gets sent around. Maconi through the air. McGough in the inside wall. Blake Wynn. JT Curran now lead the field into turn 3 for the final time. Curran up the track. Here comes Blake Wynn. They're side by side. Door bang. And JT Curran, Blake Wynn side by side. Curran by a hair as they wreck across the line. JT Curran wins at Charlotte.
Now Curran got the win, but Blake Wynn deserves a lot of credit there. He raced JT Curran very clean off turn 4. Had full intent, or full potential to just wipe out Curran. And my goodness. What a win for JT Curran.
and breathe.
And you hate to see that for Maconi.
You most certainly do, but JT Curran doesn't care. He's just won the first race of Fast Fridays. It's his first win in series history. He only led 2 laps. Doesn't matter. He led the last one. He crossed the finish line first, and he wins at Charlotte in a instant classic for
Absolutely.
Fast Fridays. That was awesome. I'm still struggling to catch my breath after
I
that one,
mean,
Chen. I don't know about you.
that was phenomenal. I mean, oh my goodness, you hate to see that for so many of the front runners that went around there off turn 2. I'm sure we'll probably take a look at that before we go off the air, but it was going to be a heck of a fight to the finish, no matter what. And unfortunately, 2 or 3 of those guys went around and hit some of those walls on the back straightaway, both inside and out.
Well, we will be waiting for just our race winner, JT Curran. We do have our other 2 podium sitters in the waiting room currently, alongside Gabriel Gatti. Hewlin Kauser finished in third. Blake Quinn, of course, as we saw, took second place. I think we'll quickly have a chat with second and third. So we'll bring in Hewlin Kauser, driver of the 04. You started 7th. It was a fairly quiet evening for you, though, Hewling, of course, as we didn't see you involved in many incidents, none of your own making, certainly, but you laid low, and on the final lap, you managed to take a podium. How do you summarize that race from your perspective?
I summarize it as just a bunch of strategy. I had a friend in there. We were talking the entire time about strategy. The number one plan of mine was just to play it safe. I got involved into a few incidents. I had to use up my faster pair, but in the end, towards the end, I just used whatever I had left. The consecutive yellow flags just allowed me to use all the tires I had and just push onward.
Well, obviously, next week we've got a personal favorite combo for me. It's the street stocks at Lime Rock Park. So it's a road course in a stock car. Always fun for me. How are you looking forward to that race?
50-50. Yeah, I'm excited, but I struggle a lot at right turns, so to say.
Think we've
Well,
all been.
anything from Shane?
Well, I just want to ask, Kowser, that last lap off turn 2, leaders collided. You made it through that to secure a podium finish. What was going through your mind coming off turn 2 there as you watched the pack fly apart in front of you?
Well, I'm gonna keep it real. I kind of screamed like, "Oh my God!" I kind of just yelled because
Absolutely.
I personally I thought I could make a run, but I couldn't in the end. But it was whatever. It was an exciting race. Happy to be here.
All right. Well, thank you for your time and congrats on a great run tonight here on Fast Friday.
Thank you so much.
That was third place, Hewlin Kauser. Send him back to the waiting room. And now, P2, Blake Wynn, just a few hundred shy of the race victory, but of course, P2, nothing to scoff at. How do you rate tonight overall for the 26 machine?
It was fun. I struggled to find a little speed during practice and qualifying, and then during the race, I was pretty good. I didn't save hard enough in the first stint, and then like the second big stint that we got, I kind of just saved, and then I started catching Maconi, and then the caution came out, and then right there at the end, I just could not start to save my life and hit the final one kind of decent, but and then just going into 3, I tried to make a move and couldn't get anything from how far back I was.
Well, of course, we know you're a Road to Pro driver. We know you're quick in probably anything that you set foot into, but we've got the street stocks at Lime Rock. Obviously, if you are able to swing by for that race, how do you rate your chances at such a combo?
I don't think I'll be able to make that one, but Street Stock's actually my better car because I just run them more. Because I used to run Street Stocks and I ran the Street Stock race at Martinsville for this and did pretty good in that.
Gotcha.
Well,
And Blake, I just wanted to add a quick question before we let you go tonight. Obviously, great finish in second place in the end, but on the last couple corners there with Curran, Yeah, you made a great decision, raced him clean to the flag. But was there anything maybe you could have done different in 3 and 4? Or do you think that what was set in stone was set?
I mean, if I wanted to be dirtier, I definitely could have. I definitely could have pushed him up in the wall a little bit more. I definitely didn't want to spin him because, I mean, had no real reason to. But I think I just needed a better run down the back stretch because when they wrecked coming out of 1 and 2, I shot it down too low and thought I was the only car that made it. And I looked to my right and he was there and he had a lot better run. So I think just having a better run coming out of 1 and 2 would have set me up better to get further along his door and like actually have a chance at racing him because I was just kind of trying to send it in there and get him up the track a little bit, get him scared, and I mean it didn't work. So I just kind of got into his left rear a tiny bit and it made me slide.
All right, Blake. Well, congrats on a great run tonight. Just a little bit short of a win, but still a respectable finish and definitely a respectable, uh, clean fight to the finish. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
So that was P2 finisher. Blake Wynn there, driver of the 26, obviously scored. Well, scored as the 26 to the 99 stamped on the side of it. That concludes our post race coverage in terms of interviews, but of course, final thoughts from our very own Shane Mundy.
Chaos. Chaos, like you said a little earlier on. Instant classic here for Fast Fridays. A great show. Look forward to seeing what next week offers with the street stocks at Lime Rock Park.
Well, of course, we are thanking tonight's race sponsors, Maconi Setup Shop and Maconi Competitor Zone, as well as, of course, Maconi Setup Shop, Maconi Entertainment, your home for setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, event promotion, and more on the iRacing service. They're the official setup shop of eNASCAR and the title sponsor of the official NASCAR iRacing C-Fix series, which you can catch broadcasts of each and every week in their SOF races. Of course, Maconi Setup Shop Competitor Zone as well. Vital race sponsors. Calling in action tonight was myself, William White, alongside Shane Mundy. In the booth with David Kreutz in the production booth. Thank you to all of our viewers for watching tonight's racing action, and we hope you'll stay tuned to all of our social media pages for our next Fast Fridays race, as we mentioned, the street stocks at Lime Rock Park. And don't forget to tune in each week for our broadcast of the top split of the Maconi Setup Shop C-Fix series, as well as round 2 of the eNASCAR iRacing Road to Pro qualifying series. This has been a production of Maconi Entertainment, and we will see you at the checkered flag. Good night, everyone.